Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wasahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Today it will be the first day of 2 days proposal seminar that we are going to have. Today and then tomorrow. The first contender here, it will be Dinda Alifia, and then her proposal title here is Writing Skill Development in K-pop Stan Twitter Communities, and then your advisor is Miss Lydia Tuliza, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then your examiner, it will be me. Yeah. Okay, and then before we are going to start this proposal seminar, I would like to give you here the chance to be the co-host, yeah, and then you can share the file by yourself with this one, yeah, and then let's start this proposal seminar. You'll be reciting basmalah together, yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, this proposal seminar consists of several steps. First of all, you're going to elaborate, you're going to explain your complete proposal, starting with the first chapter, second chapter, and then third chapter of your proposal. And then after that one, you're going to have the question based on your explanations. And then last one, it will be about the revision for your complete proposal. Okay, Dinda, Alifia, and hopefully you already watched the previous proposal seminar, so you're going to be able in finding what are the common kind of questions that I really asked to all of your previous friends. Yeah. Okay, Dinda, Olivia, time is yours, and then best of luck. Come
on. Can you see? Sir, is it? Can you see the? Yeah, okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, Mr. Sofian. My name is Dinda Alifia Darmawan from English Department, and I'm here. I want to explain you about my thesis proposal. And the title of my thesis is Writing Skill Development in K-pop Stan Twitter Communities. In the first chapter, we will talk about the background of study. So writing is one of the most important skills in foreign language, not only in English, but every language that access. Writing is important for students who are currently studying English language. However, writing is often considered merely as a part of teaching and learning, and people tend to underestimate the importance of writing itself. While Allah has mentioned the importance of writing in Al-Quran, Surah Al-Qalam, verse 1, known by the pen and by what they yastur. The verse implies with a letter written with a pen, people can deliver good and sad news to people around them, and they can get educated and educate their people, and many more blessings are obtained by humans with writing using a pen. In this 4.0 era, there are a lot of digital platforms that available that provide people to write. And these days, people start to learn to write in social media. Social media has the greatest impact on improving someone's writing skill. Sharing information through social media can also help increase the communication skill among the people, especially on Twitter. People write there to express themselves or to give an opinion on an argument. However, having a good writing is not easy. To have a good writing, we have to choose appropriate vocabulary and we have to arrange words into sentences and paragraphs. This way, we can have better communications with others. This research is also based on my own experience as an active Twitter user and as a K-pop fan. As an active Twitter user, and English is often seen in the K-pop stan community. They use English to communicate or write stories about their K-pop idol. At first, I thought maybe it's because of the environmental change or they want to look educated on Twitter because some people think that using English in their daily life makes them look smarter. But when I asked a friend who is also a Twitter user and a K-pop fan, they said it is because they are used to having conversations with their foreign friends. And they use English to exchange information about the K-pop and even sell K-pop merchandise. K-pop itself is the term that represents South Korean music culture. The K-pop incorporates a wide range of musical genres, including pop, ballad, R&B, rock, hip hop, reggae, and so much more. The internet deserves credit for making K-pop culture a worldwide sensation. The dominance of K-pop can be observed in social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and even WhatsApp. But among other social media, Twitter has received a good deal of attention from K-pop fans. In 2019, more than 5.2 billion K-pop related tweets were sent out. Those billions K-pop tweets are primarily in English. K-pop fans who are largely from a younger age are expected to acquire English to fit in with their friends and to keep up with the K-pop obsession. K-pop tweets have become a useful learning tool for the K-pop community to improve their English skill. Tweeting fun stuff in English about their idol, favorite music, and show demonstrates their passion in English. They improve their English skill by tweeting K-pop content in English. Also, there are several researchers that have conducted a research study on the influence of social media on students' writing skill. The first one was from Yudi Juniardi and Utami in 2018, who carried out a research on social media influence titled Improving Students' Writing Skill Through Twitter. The researcher found a case from the students of SMPN 1 Kota Serang. They found that some of their writing skill in English lessons was not particularly good. And this research was conducted by using qualitative and by applying classroom action research. Based on the research, the teaching learning activity using Twitter was quite effective in helping students in improving their writing skills. And it is demonstrated that they were able to explore and communicate their ideas more effectively than when using the conventional learning method. And the second one is Latifah et al. In 2020 with the research title Writing Stories Using Twitter as a Media for Students' Writing Skill. The research was also conducted by using qualitative method and applying classroom action research. The sample was from grade 9 students of SMPN 3 Tangerang with a total of 30 students. And also based on this research, it can be stated that using Twitter as a medium for students' writing can help them enhance their writing skill. And using Twitter as a learning tool can help teacher and student to become more engaged and active in their studies. And the last one is from Dinar Faiza 2020 with the research title Stimulating English Learning in Global K-pop Community on Twitter. The researcher used K-pop tweets that were taken from 20 accounts, and 10 of them were conducted the interview. The data was collected by interview and polling to K-popper accounts. And based on this research, K-pop stimulates K-popper in learning K-pop fans in learning English by tweeting and following K-pop stuff on Twitter. That eagers them to learn English are an interest and curiosity to get information about the K-pop idol and stuff. It demands self-learning in the process of improving their English skill because it is the bridge for them to connect with their favorite idols. And then the second one is theories. The first one is writing skill. Before 1960, writing skill as a foreign language didn't attract much attention from people. However, in recent decades, it has been gaining more attention and is considered as one of the most important skills in communication and fundamental content in the process of learning language. Writing is an important skill for people to communicate so they can express their thoughts, feelings, and opinions. To have a good writing, students need to pay attention to the aspects of writing, such as content, form, vocabulary, grammar, language use, and mechanics. Students must be able to choose the right words in expressing their ideas. And nowadays, there are a lot of people who pay attention to their grammar to get better communication with others on the internet. As a process, writing seems an activity that involves composition activities that combine structural units of sentences into a larger paragraph of text and cohesive and coherent structure. Uh, Writing as a process means how a text is written instead of the outcome. Meanwhile, writing in the product is students often asked to create a text style. The common writing process that is often seen in writing class includes drafting, revising, editing, and publishing. These steps are categorized as writing activities to compose and combine the structural units of sentences into readable paragraphs. But in writing, students often face difficulties in getting ideas, choosing ideas to write, outlining, drafting, revising, and editing their writing. They also find it difficult to choose the right words to form into a sentence that can be a good writing. And for students, producing a good writing is the most difficult skill of the four skills. Uh, in writing, the writer has purposes to convey message to the reader. There are three purposes of writing. The first is to entertain, and then there is to inform and to persuade. And for the types of writing, paragraphs and articles can be written in a variety of types or style. It depends on the author. They will choose the type following the objectives to be achieved, the type of material to be discussed, and the expected impact on the reader. There are four types of writing. The first one is narrative, and then descriptive, expository, and persuasive. One of the needs of productive proficiency is the writing process, which involves a set of processes that must be followed to produce a complete piece of writing. There are four elements. The first is designing, and then rubbing, editing, and final draft. And we are going to talk about Twitter. What is Twitter? Twitter is a website that offers social media in a form of microblogs, radio, television, celebrities, company, politics, and many more. Most of them have accounts on Twitter for them to get connected with their audiences. One of the most used features on Twitter now is Tweet threads. It is a series of tweets at a time that are related to one another. Usually, this feature is used to tell stories, tips and tricks, information like life experiences, news, and many more. Many people got into community on Twitter to talk with someone who has the same preference as them. Parents, teens, and even children are familiar with the internet, but for Twitter, most of the users are teenagers. One of the best benefits of Twitter is that anyone and anywhere can connect with people around the world at the same time and can communicate directly with them. Many communities are made on Twitter. One of them is the K-pop stan community. People in the community are mostly teenagers who listen to Korean pop music. Twitter is a simple communication media that is easy to use, get, and spread information. Uh, And while using Twitter, the user can reach wider not only between friends, but idols, politicians, actors, and many more. People who use Twitter are mostly having a quick response and very interactive. The purpose of using Twitter is to communicate with others, to record daily experiences, to maintain and initiate friendship, to stay informed, and to share relevant information. People use Twitter to keep informed about their interests, and some use Twitter to keep in touch with their old friends. There are 7 features on Twitter that can be used. that can be used. The first is the tweet. The purpose of it is for the user to speak their mind in a form of writing. We can also put a link, article or journal, pictures, GIF, and we can have a conversation in the tweet with 1 to 10 people. And then there's the mention. The purpose of the mention is to maintain the social relationship between friends. We can also have conversation not only between 2 person, but it can take more than 10 people in the conversation by mentioning them. And then there is the likes. Uh, these features allow the user to like a tweet. The user mostly use this feature to like funny tweet, news, story, and many more of their desired tweets. Some people like a tweet to remind them to read the tweet later. And then there is the hashtag. Hashtag serves as a marker to guide the reader to the presence of new relevant information. It has been used to distribute information during important events, such as the use of the hashtag for the K-pop fans. For the K-pop fans, they use hashtags while promoting their idol. That is currently having a comeback by using the hashtag in every one of their tweets. And then there is the retweet. Social retweeting is theorized as kind of language aimed at maintaining contact or keeping lines of communication open by showing support for people or their ideas. Retweeting, it is categorized as sharing or passing along content such as news articles, podcasts, events, or others aimed at informing the followers. So when we retweet a tweet, the tweet that we retweeted will appear on our followers' timeline. So it can be seen by the others. And then there is direct message. Using direct message, we can share more private information or have talks with the closest friends only. And according to Twitter, direct message is the private side of Twitter itself for the user to have private conversations about tweets or other contents. And the last is Space. Space is a newly added feature on Twitter since 2021. And it is a new way to have a live audio on Twitter. It is for public and anyone can join as a listener. Most users use Space to talk with their community about a topic that is currently trending on Twitter. Friends can also make space to talk with each other and share information. And of course, in every platform, there must be a witness, and Twitter has witness also. Uh, Twitter has limited capabilities in finding people, sending a short message, and direct replies. One of the features, the tweet, also has limited up to 2,280 characters per update. Twitter limits their user to tweet only up to 4 pictures in a tweet, and sometimes it is misused as a spam and increased noise level. I also found that Twitter doesn't have a feature to search keywords that are used in a direct message. And also, it's hard for the user to find some old tweets. One of the most problems that faced by most Twitter users now is that their account is easily getting suspended or locked by Twitter for an unknown reason. Now we're going to talk about the K-pop. South Korea is currently known as one of the countries in Asia which have successfully introduced many new things to the world, particularly electronics, fashion, and pop culture. One of the areas that bring influence to many countries is Korean pop culture in form of music and or drama, or known as K-pop. The Korean wave, or known as Hallyu, started to spread in Southeast Asia, China, and Japan. The culture started to invade Indonesia through popular Korean drama. A lot of teenagers start to watch Korean drama from a private channel on their TV. And then there is in K-pop, there is a stan community or fandom or a place where the fans are united. According to Battle and Fawas 2017, the definition is fandom is a combination of two words, fan and domain. Fandom is the word of enthusiast for some amusement or some artist. In K-pop, every group has its own and it's like a group of community. Fans usually communicate through the sharing of physical text or art, as well as gathering events or even fan meetings with their idols. And nowadays, most of the interaction in the fandom is internet-based. There are many platforms that have been used, such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. But as I said before, Twitter has received a good deal of attention from the K-pop fans. Displaying fan group identity may be an attempt to attract new friends and maintain the current relationships with others who has similar interests. The example of the fandom is for Korean girl band fans or girls generation, Cassiopeia community for Korean boy band TVXQ fans, Hatus for 2PM, XOL for EXO, ARMY for BTS, and many others. These communities exist with the purpose of either studying the languages or culture of Korea, exchanging information about their idols, and supporting their idols. And then next is we are going to talk about the methods and procedures that will be used for this research. Time and place of the study. This research will be conducted on secondary school or college students on an online platform, Twitter, and the study will be done for about 6 months from February to August 2022. The method that will be used, will be applied in the study is the descriptive quantitative research method with questionnaire as the instrument. Sorry. And the technique that will be used is purposive sampling because the sample of this research is homogeneous or one community with the same interest. The population for this study is the secondary school and college students that have been joining the K-pop stan Twitter community and use English in their daily tweets for the past 3 years. And the sample, the researcher will talk about 100 students from both secondary and college students as the sample, and they are K-pop fans and come from one country, Indonesia, which use English as EFL. They must have been joining the K-pop stan Twitter communities for 3 years minimum and have been studying English. Okay, I think that's all for the explanation of my proposal. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dinda. Alifia, go back to your first slide, please.
There you go, sir.
Okay, there we go. Starting with your title here.
Yeah.
I would like to, okay, can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes.
Okay. My first question for you, based on your title, you're going to conduct a study about the writing skills and then also key K-pop stan Twitter communities.
Yeah.
I want you to please try to give what is it, your overview about the research that you are going to do with this skill of writing and then also with stan Twitter communities. Come on.
Wait, what? I can't hear the question.
Okay, you can give the overview of the research, yeah, that you're going to conduct based on writing skills and then also based on stan Twitter communities. Come on.
So in this study, I will look for the for the development after joining the K-pop stan Twitter communities, and it is for teacher and student. It is also can be used for the teacher. They can right. I have. In order to implement interest media to teach English writing skill for students, and for the K-pop stan Twitter communities, they can enrich the language learners about the study of writing, especially in the English language. It is also can be used to motivate them to use English to express their feelings on social media, especially the students that is joining K-pop stan Twitter community. Is that it, sir? The overview.
That's all?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, next question. Why K-pop? Why stan Twitter communities?
Because I'm one of them.
Okay, well, I mean, try to come with some basic reasoning. Why you're K-pop? Why stan Twitter communities? Come on.
Because K-pop is a good have a good attention from people, and Twitter is the most used social media platform that is used now, because a lot of people have been using Twitter these days. Yeah, and one of the biggest community on Twitter is K-pop fan community. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next question come to, if you think the stan Twitter communities, especially on K-pop, that can give a good impact to the writing skill, yeah? How that you gonna give the stressing on each of the improvement?
What stress?
Yeah, stressing. Yeah, stressing to each of the skill of the teenagers or the student that you're going to implement this one.
Stressing. What I don't.
Stressing.
Stressing. What?
Yeah.
I don't get the question. I don't get it. Stressing. What do you mean? I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, let me repeat it for you then, Dinda. You're using stan Twitter communities, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're going to use in K-pop here.
Yeah.
There are many things when we talk about K-pop. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then which one that you're going to put your stressing on student writing skill based on this one? That's my point.
But I still don't understand.
Okay, maybe you can start with, okay, K-pop stan Twitter communities, here it is, blah, 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 blah. And then after that one, from this K-pop stan Twitter communities, we can develop an activity, a writing skill, blah, 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 blah. Come on.
We for the student, we can join any community that on Twitter that the user most using English, and we can on Twitter we can only write most of the time we only write, and for those who still have poor writing skill, we can join the communities or just join Twitter, and we can look for friends who is only speaking English, and that will force us for us to write in English, and there will be a development in our writing skill. Oh, is that it? Did I get the question right? There.
No, I mean, you gotta mention it from this K-pop stan Twitter communities, which part that the student can learn to develop their writing skill.
Oh, just join the community and write about their idol, or talk with the foreign friends who is also K-pop fans in Twitter. Then you'll get the writing development after talking with them in English every day. not every day, but
yeah, I mean this, if you gonna mention about talking every day with the communities, blah blah, yeah,
yeah.
so it's not a good kind of alternative solution, because you are answering, okay, just join. If you want to develop your writing skill, just
Oh, I'm
join.
sorry, I
So
didn't
what
get
is
the
it that
question
you're going to
right.
propose? Yeah.
I didn't get the question right. So
Okay,
sorry.
come on.
Yeah, that is by talking with them every day and by writing stories in English or wait, there are several people uh, who is writing a story in English that is called AU or alternate universe. They most some of them are using English, and you can learn from there to try to rewrite the story with English in your own in your own language.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the next slide, please. Next slide, come on. Okay, from your background of this study, how can you make sure that every single data and then fact that you mention in your background of this study here is a valid one to support your research? Come on, Dinda.
Because I have read almost like 10 articles that for research that is based on social media influence, especially Twitter. The finding of the research is the Twitter is quite effective for the students to improve their writing skill. And for the K-pop, I have only read one a journal that because I barely see it, and the research found that the researcher found that using K-pop and joining K-pop stan community and on Twitter is good for improving their writing skill because and English skill, not only writing. How?
Okay, can you mention some data, some fact that mentioning, okay, for example here, the percentage. Yeah, come on.
The percentage.
Yep.
Wait, I I will stop the sharing first. The percentage, I don't get the percentage, but the the article that I read is mostly using quantitative descriptive. So
Yeah, from the quantitative kind of research, you can put also the percentage, right?
no, but the article that I read, they didn't put any percentage.
So that will be your revision now. You're going to put some basic data, you put some percentage on it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Proceed to your screen, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Okay, next slide. Okay, the description of theories. Yeah? From your title here, you're trying to talk out several elements. You know, writing skills, and then after that one, the Twitter, and then after that one, about one of the community, yeah,
Yes.
K-pop things. Now I want you to please try to build a concept of a theory that's supporting your research, please.
Wait, what? The connection is kind of.
Yeah, try to write down, try to explain the concept of the theories that are going to support your research with all elements that you mentioned on your title. Come on.
Like the previous studies.
Okay, why that you have to ask me back? Try to answer it, yeah, based on my question. Try to make a group of theories that support your research, yeah, starting with writing itself, K-pop things, kind of communities. Come on.
writing in a foreign language is an important skill for everyone, and writing is a medium for people to communicate with symbols, alphabets that can become a sentence. Writing also can show someone's ideas, feelings, and opinions. That is writing. And for Twitter is a social media that wait, 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 sorry. Twitter is a website that offers social media in a form of microblogs. Twitter is allowing the user to send and read the message that is called a tweet. And for K-pop is a culture from South Korean that have been known by people around the world. And it's because of the internet and it's because the internet have been helping K-pop in to be globalized, to be known by the world. That's it.
Okay, try to make it relevant. Yeah, starting with writing, and then your second reference here is about Twitter, and then next your reference here is about K-pop, and then your next reference here is about Stan. Yeah, so it will build a concept of theory, group of theories that support your research. Why did you have to read it one by one? Twitter is blah blah blah. Come on, make one kind of explanation. Yeah, it is relevant between all elements in your title. Come on.
Writing.
Okay, skip it. Let's skip that one. Let's go with the next question. Next slide, please. Okay, skip this one. No.
Yeah.
Okay, method and procedure. Method and procedure, they consist of the third chapter of your research proposal. I want you to please try to explain it in details. How the process of research that you're gonna conduct, starting with the first planning till the last one, evaluating till you got the result and then making the conclusions. Come on.
So the first thing that I will do is I will conduct this research on secondary school or college students on an online platform. And the method is descriptive quantitative research method. And then the instrument is questionnaire. After the first one, I will look for people in the community, in the K-pop stan community, that is that can the population that have been joining the K-pop stan Twitter communities and use English for the past 3 years. Then I will give them the questionnaire, and I will collecting the questionnaire is like a chart with 10 items close up, each with 5 options: strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. The respondents are asked to indicate their level agreement with a given statement by way of an ordinal scale, and then I will analyze the data with the following formula that will be applied to support data. I think that's it.
Okay, so that was the description. Yeah. And then your expectation in conducting this research, what will be the result of this one after you conducted this research?
If there is any significant there is a significant or there is a significant influence of joining K-pop fan Twitter communities or not, and I will use percentage. Sorry, yeah, descriptive percentage. I will provide the percentage.
Okay, I guess that's enough, Dinda, Alifia, for your proposal seminar. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it too long for you. And then I hope you're going to revise. Yeah, you're going to revise based on my suggestion. Yeah, for the percentage and the data and the fact, based on the Twitter, and then also based on the K-pop, yeah, based on the community that you share that you're going to use for this research. And then for your complete proposal, I'm not going to revise it now. I'm going to give it to you when you try to come and then visit me, and then I'm going to share it to you. What is it that you have to revise? Okay, Dinda?
Okay, so.
Okay, and then I guess that's all for our today's proposal seminar. And then let's hope you're going to pass for this proposal seminar. And then let's end this proposal seminar here with reciting Hamdalah together. Yeah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. And then the last, Allahumma fi qawli ila sabil rasad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.